Today I want to talk about a brand new full season hybrid. It's Axis 66 Z71. For the past few years we've been searching for a staple full season hybrid that really stands out and yields well across the Mid-Atlantic region, and we have found it in a brand new genetic package, and the hybrid is 66 Z71. It's a tall type plant with high ear placement, but it has great standability due to the roots and stalks. One thing I love about this hybrid is it has a long husk coverage that really protects grain late season. So 66 Z71 is going to be the lead hybrid out of the Axis lineup all across the Mid-Atlantic region. It has very good drought tolerance and unmatched top end yield in a very tall, robust plant that will stand up. One key characteristic of 66 Z71 is it has exceptional grain quality, and it has very large kernels. It's a flex ear. It only puts on 16 to 18 kernels around, but the kernels are as big as a candy corn. It's some of the largest kernels I've ever seen, and that's where the added yield is coming from. It'll put on 16 to 18 kernels round, and it'll pollinate 35 to 40 kernels long, but they are exceptionally large kernels. If you compare it to a hybrid that has 20 around and smaller kernels, it's very easy to see that large seed size on the 66 Z71. And because of that seed size, the test weight scores are going to be average because it's a big square kernel. You've got more airspace in a bushel basket with a big kernel than you do a small kernel. So test weight scores are going to be average, but the grain quality is exceptional. I broke an ear in half here, and you can see it has fantastic grain quality. This hybrid also has a very long husk coverage that protects that grain quality all season long. It's probably some of the longest husks I've ever seen on a hybrid. So grain quality is something that you can really rely on with 66 Z71, despite the test weight scores being average. This hybrid can perform very well at more moderate populations. Anywhere from 26,000 to 32,000 is a plenty population for this hybrid. It will stand up and perform at a high level at even higher seeding rates, but it does not require those thicker seeding rates to yield well. Even though 66 Z71 is a tall plant with high ear placement, it has a powerful root system on just about every single stalk that supports all that weight that it puts on with the ear. You can see that it has very good stalk integrity late into the season, very big stalks, very vigorous root system that'll support this tall plant even at high yield levels and big wind events. Another key characteristic of 66 Z71 is it has excellent intactness later in the season and really good stay green. It has a sound disease package. It's great against gray leaf spot, northern corn leaf blight, common rust, southern leaf blight, anthracnose, Goss's wilt, all kinds of ear rots. And that long husk on the ear really protects it against sprouting and other kernel diseases, including Pythium. That late season intactness, you can really see between these two different hybrids. So the hybrid on the left kind of dies and dries and the stalk falls to pieces, whereas 66 Z71 on the right has really good late season stalk integrity. I focus a lot on husk coverage, especially here along the coast where we get a lot of coastal storms in the winter, in the fall, and when we have a long husk that protects that grain from not only sunlight and insects, but it keeps moisture from getting in there on the kernels. Some hybrids have a short husk, some have a long husk. 66 Z71 has a long husk that does not allow water in there on the grain. That protects grain quality late into the season. It keeps birds off of it, insects off of it, and it really protects you from sprouting, which occurs sometimes on short husk hybrids, Pythium, and other kernel diseases. It really helps against ear rots as well. So one thing you can really count on from from year to year with this hybrid is excellent grain quality. Two other characteristics that I pay really close attention to across the Mid-Atlantic are early season seedling vigor for planting into cooler soils and no-till soils. 66Z71 checks that box. And the other key characteristic is drought tolerance, because water is our limiting factor across 95% of the acres in the Mid-Atlantic region. So not only do we have unmatched top end with 66Z, we've also got a lot of stability under stress. Many of you are familiar with 64B28, which has good top end, but is also an industry standard for stress tolerance. This hybrid will yield with 64B28 in that 180 and under yield environment, but blows the socks off of it top end. We've talked a lot about 64M20, 65W75, 67A23. Those have been staples in a high yield environment for us currently and in years past. This is adding a ton of top end yield over top of those hybrids. So this is something we want to put on good soils, under irrigation, and really go after that top end yield. If we have a season where we go through significant drought, this is a hybrid that we can really still rely on. From South Carolina on up to Pennsylvania, if you're looking for a full season hybrid with extreme top end and stability under stress, Axis 66Z71 is your new go-to.